Hello and welcome to the Flying Scots. Today we are going to be doing a flight from Lukla Airport to Tribhuvan International in Nepal. Lukla, of course, is the highest airport with regular scheduled passenger flights. And today we're going to be trying out the Lukla X add-on from Aerosoft, as well as the Twin Otter extended add-on, also from Aerosoft, and I'll be including links to both of those in the description below. Anyway, as you can see, I was just setting up my flight plan. I basically dragged the waypoints around to create a path through the mountains, just manually creating that path. And also added some passengers and cargo to give us a realistic load. Plus we don't want to make it too easy taking off. So as you can see, I was just having a look around the cabin, setting the flaps to 20, checking my flight controls are able to move freely, and yeah, everything's looking good, except for the fact that it's snowing pretty heavily. So I don't know if you can tell, but the snow is beginning to build up on the windscreen. I sat here so long that it was beginning to affect the visibility, as you may see there. So eventually I turned on the wipers and the window heating, as I'll show you in a minute. So yeah, turned on the wipers, turned on the de-icing for the propeller intake, wing, and I did my de-icing of the wings manually there as well. So yeah, as you can see, the local airport here has been rendered pretty nicely. I've watched a few videos of the real thing, not been there myself, but it looks to capture it in pretty good detail. Yeah, so let's get the show on the road. So here we are, lined up, ready to go, and power to full. And rotate. Positive rates. No gear up though, of course, because the Twin Otter has fixed gear. But we've just turned down our flaps to 0 as we're climbing nicely. Decent rate of climb, about 1,000 feet per minute, just under. This aircraft is extremely high performance for such a small aircraft, so that's why we were able to rotate in such a short space of time. So as you can see, it's all been pretty smooth. We're just gonna hand fly this route following our flight plan, as you can see on the GPS panel there. And it'll probably take around 30 minutes or so of flight. But don't worry, we're gonna skip through the most boring parts. But I have to say, I was very impressed with both of these add-ons actually. And even this is just the default scenery. I believe the Lukla X add-on includes some more detailed terrain mapping of the Everest area, but otherwise, other than the airport itself, it's just using the default Microsoft textures here. I do have the settings turned up to max, more or less, but we're running pretty smoothly here. Yeah, just having a look around the cabin. So we don't have any passengers today, actually. We just have cargo in the back. Yeah, we've escaped the worst of the weather now, so should be pretty smooth from here out. Anyway, so just to go into the aircraft a little bit, this is the Aerosoft Twin Otter Extended. We're flying the DHC-300 just now. I believe it's a bit more power than the 100. But yeah, it's a pretty nice bird to fly. Being a relatively small aircraft, it's very responsive. But I found yeah, it was very easy to set the trim. Yeah, I mean, I really enjoyed this aircraft, to be honest. One thing to watch out though is if you leave the throttles fully open at full power for, well, more than a few minutes, let's say 10 minutes or so, then the engines will start to overheat. And I did notice before, I got a couple of flameouts doing that, so I had to make an emergency landing. We'll maybe show you that in another video, but for now we're just going to keep things nice and simple. Just fly straight to Tribhuvan. Well, not quite straight because we're trying to avoid the worst of the mountains, but as direct as we can. Yeah, so yeah, the Twin Otter Extended from Aerosoft came out, well, the latest version actually was updated in June 2017, so they have been, yeah, I mean, they have been keeping up to date, which is great. They have a few variants with skis for landing in snow, as well as floats for landing in water. So you can, yeah, you can fly in a variety of different environments in this plane. Yeah, and being that its stall speed is close to 60 knots, you can really put it down on some short strips, as well as take off in short ones as well, with the excellent climb performance. So yeah, just having a look out the window here, I have to say the terrain really looks not bad for default textures, and default weather as well. So I do have the Rex texture and weather add-on, but I don't have it running just now. I've had stability issues with that recently, to be honest. But yeah, let's just turn up the pace a little bit. So this was a pretty uneventful flight, to be honest. Just relaxing in the Himalayas. Yeah. Yeah, so let's take a quick look outside at the Twin Otter. Here we're flying the Aquac Air DHC-300 with the wheels. You can see it's fixed wheels, so a little bit of extra wind resistance, but on the other hand a bit more stability as well. But yeah, we're cruising around 140, 150 knots. At least that's the ground speed. So you know we're going at a decent rate. Certainly a lot faster than a little Cessna 172. But you can see here we got quite detailed character models. If you look closely, you can see the pilot was actually holding onto the throttle quadrant now, up on the top. And also the propellers. You can see the nice pattern there leading to that blackened circle effect as they're running, as well as the rubber boots on the front of the wings to de-ice. Yeah, what nice details, I thought. I mean, by most people's reckonings, this is the definitive Twin Otter package to get, so I have to say I really did enjoy flying it. Yeah, so just admiring some of the details on the top there. The radio antenna at the back. I have to say, it's not a bad view from up here. Let's move things along a bit again, and I'll be back with you once we're on our descent. Actually, once we're on our approach. Hey guys, so as you can see we're now on approach into Tribhuvan International. We haven't stuck exactly to the charts in terms of the correct approach here, but you know, it's loosely similar to the actual approach coming into runway 20, I believe. Yeah, so we've got our flaps set to full. We're a little bit above idle throttle. Yeah, at about 80 knots ground speed, 75 indicated. You know, we're looking quite comfortable here, but because we came over that ridge just now, we are a little bit high, but I'm not too worried about that. You know, the Twin Otter can cope with very steep descents, sorry, very steep approaches. So you know, we're gonna come in a little bit high here, but let's just see it. Let's just see how it goes. I'm not too worried about that. Yeah, so like I say, I have been hand flying the plane today. I was also having some noodles as I flew, so there was a little bit of a lack of control input at times. Hence, it wasn't the smoothest flight, but you know, let's just gloss over that. So yeah, actually, our flaps were only at 20 there. We're just going to put them up to 30 now. Bring the throttles back a little bit. We don't want to drop below 60 knots though, so let's just bring it back up a little bit. Yeah, we want to be, yeah, we're about 70 knots, and want to hold it around that. Really, I want to be coming in at about 65 and touching down around 60. So let's see how close to that we get. I'm putting the flaps to full now. We're gonna put this thing down. 4 white lights. Yeah, we're high. Like I said, I'm not too worried about that. We're coming in a bit steeper than usual, so we'll be fine. Yeah, I noticed that our speed was dropping off a bit there. With the flaps up to full, so let's just bring it over to around 65 knots. Yeah, we're looking pretty good. Center line's more or less straight ahead. About 800 feet per second descent rate. 8 or 900. Yeah, we're looking pretty good here. Just going to be a few last minute adjustments as we come to the threshold. Yeah, clear weather down here at Tribhuvan. No real winds to speak of, so it should be fairly straightforward. And you can see now we're just coming into the coming across the correct glide path. We're going a little bit low now. That's fine. We'll put it down just beyond the threshold. Yeah. And retards. And we touch down. Not bad. I don't think we'd have any broken backs in the back if we had passengers. So you know, can't complain too much. Just dab at the brakes there. We're already around 57 knots or so when we touched down, so really, given we'd already passed the first taxiway, we are not in any great hurry to slow down, so yeah, just take the next one to the right here. Let's take another look at that landing from a couple more angles, this time from the tower. As you can see, just a nice little flare at the end, and a gentle touchdown. Smooth, if I say so myself. And another view from behind the left here. Gives you a better idea of the moment of touchdown. be honest, at this point I was just wanting to show off, I think. Gentle as anything. Like I say, you know, clear weather, full flaps, nice responsive plane. You know, providing you're gentle in the controls, this thing is quite forgiving aircraft. Yeah, and a lot of fun to fly. And just another view from the nose. Nice and smooth. Bang on the center line, and then we just veered off slightly as we were slowing down. Not bad. I really do like the detailed textures on this plane. And there we go. That's the end of our flight. I'm not going to shut down. So, thanks very much for joining me, the Flying Scots. Next time, I'll be taking the same plane, Twin Otter, back from Tribhuvan to Lukla. So landing in Lukla, also known as Tenzing Airport. Thanks a lot, guys.